Be me, 24-year-old dude, working at a coffee shop downtown in the city. Pretty chill job, decent tips, free coffee, flexible hours for my band practice. New girl starts working with us on a Monday morning. Let's call her Riley. She's got that whole aesthetic going on, short hair dyed purple with an undercut, nose ring, multiple ear piercings, band shirts, ripped jeans, Doc Martens, the works. First day she walks in and immediately starts talking about patriarchy and wage gaps to the entire staff during the morning briefing. Everyone else is nodding along nervously because they don't want HR problems or to get labeled as problematic. I'm just standing there making lattes and literally do not care about her speech because I've heard it all before in college. She notices I'm not paying attention and I'm just focused on the espresso machine. Excuse me, are you even listening to what I'm saying right now? I look up from the milk steamer. Not really. I'm trying to remember if this order is a double or triple shot. Her face does this thing where she looks personally offended that I exist in the same space as her. The other barista, Marcus, is trying not to laugh behind the espresso machine and failing miserably. Riley huffs and walks away to stock the pastry case, muttering something under her breath. Rest of the shift is normal. She keeps throwing me these looks like I just insulted her ancestors or killed her dog. I genuinely have no idea what I did wrong. I was just doing my job. Next day, she comes in with a feminist theory book and puts it on the counter where I'm working. Maybe you should educate yourself about the issues facing women in modern society. I glance at it briefly. Cool, is this yours? You left it here on my station. Push it back toward her and go back to wiping down the counter with sanitizer. She looks like her brain just blue screened and needs to restart. You're not even going to engage with the material I'm presenting to you? I'm engaging with this stubborn milk stain right now. It's pretty consuming and requires my full attention. Marcus is straight up giggling at this point, trying to hide behind the coffee grinder. Riley gets red in the face and storms off to the back room where we keep supplies. Manager Linda comes up to me 5 minutes later. What did you do to the new girl? Literally nothing. I'm just working and making coffee like I'm supposed to. Linda shakes her head. She seems really upset and almost in tears back there. That sounds like a her problem, not a me problem. I didn't do anything to her. Linda walks away muttering something about millennial workplace dynamics and how she doesn't get paid enough for this. Over the next week, Riley tries everything in her power to get a reaction out of me. She talks about toxic masculinity while I'm making a cappuccino with extra foam. I just ask if she wants the cinnamon or cocoa powder on hers. She brings up emotional labor and how women do all of it. I ask if she can grab more cups from the back because we're running low. She starts a whole thing about male privilege in the workplace. I tell her that's great, but can she help me with this stuck coffee filter that won't come out? It's not that I disagree with her necessarily on most points. I just literally do not have the energy to debate politics at 6 a.m. while caffeinating corporate zombies who haven't had their morning fix. But she takes my indifference as some kind of personal challenge to break through to me. One day she comes in and is like, "Why don't you ever argue with me about anything I say?" Why would I? You're entitled to your opinions and beliefs. But don't you want to defend yourself against my criticisms? From what? You haven't actually accused me of anything specific. She opens her mouth, closes it, opens it again like a fish. Nothing comes out. I turn back to the espresso machine because we have a line of 8 people waiting and they're getting impatient. Later that day, old guy customer is being a creep to Riley, making weird comments about her appearance and body. I step in immediately without hesitation. Hey man, that's not cool at all. Either order something or leave. Guy gets all huffy and defensive. What are you, her boyfriend or something? I'm someone who doesn't want to listen to you harass my coworker for your own entertainment. So, order or go. He leaves muttering about snowflakes and cancel culture and how nobody can take a joke anymore. I go back to cleaning the counter like nothing happened, just another day. Riley is staring at me with this confused expression. Why did you do that for me? Because he was being gross and you looked uncomfortable and it was the right thing to do. But I thought you didn't care about anything or anyone. I don't care about getting into theoretical debates at work. I do care about people being decent humans to each other. She goes quiet for a bit, then quietly says, "Thank you, I appreciate it." No problem, it's basic decency. Next few days, she's less aggressive with the political stuff and constant challenges. Still talks about it, but not like she's trying to trap me in some kind of gotcha moment. We actually start having normal conversations about regular things like normal coworkers. Turns out she's studying sociology at the local university with a minor in gender studies, volunteers at an animal shelter on weekends, loves horror movies and collecting vinyl records. I tell her about my band. We play punk shows at this dive bar on weekends called The Basement. Wait, you're in a punk band? I didn't see that coming. Yeah, I play drums. Have been for like 6 years. Why? I just didn't expect that from you at all. You thought I was too normie and basic? She laughs genuinely. Actually laughs. First time I've seen her do that around me. Maybe a little, yeah. Invite her to our next show on Friday night. Don't think she'll actually come. Night of the show, I'm setting up my drums on the tiny stage, and I see her walk in through the door. She brought 2 of her friends with her. They're all dressed in punk attire. We play our set. It's pretty good. Crowd is into it. Some people are moshing. Afterwards, she comes up to me while I'm packing up my kit. That was actually really good. I'm impressed. Thanks. Glad you came out. Means a lot. We end up talking for like 2 hours at the bar, sitting in a corner booth. Her friends eventually drag her away around midnight, but she gives me her number before leaving. Text her the next day asking if she wants to grab food after our shifts sometime this week. She says yes immediately. Suggests Wednesday after we close. We go to this Thai place she recommends. It's actually amazing. Best pad Thai I've ever had. Conversation flows naturally. We're talking about music, movies, her classes, my band's upcoming EP release. She brings up feminism, but in like a normal way. Not like she's testing me or trying to catch me saying something wrong. I actually engage this time because we're not at work and I'm not exhausted from dealing with customers. Turns out we agree on most things. I just don't perform my politics like a personality trait or wear it on my sleeve. You know what's funny? She says while eating her spring rolls. What? I spent 2 weeks trying to get a rise out of you and you just didn't care at all. I mean, I cared about the topics. I just didn't think arguing with you at work was productive for either of us. Everyone else always either agrees with me immediately to avoid conflict or gets super defensive and aggressive. Sounds exhausting for everyone involved, honestly. She laughs. It really is exhausting. I think I was doing it because I expected you to be like every other guy I've met. What, employed and mediocre at latte art? She kicks me under the table playfully. Shut up, you know what I mean. I do know, but I'm too lazy to perform any kind of persona for people. This is just me being me. I think that's what threw me off initially. You're just genuinely yourself without any pretense. Is that a compliment or an insult? It's definitely a compliment. We start hanging out more after that initial dinner. She comes to more of my shows, always brings her friends. They become fans of the band. I go to her animal shelter, volunteering sometimes to help out with the dogs on Saturday mornings. Marcus starts making fun of us at work constantly. When are you two just going to date already? The tension is killing me. Riley turns bright red and looks away. I just shrug casually. Would that be so bad if we did? She looks at me with surprise. Are you serious right now? Yeah, why not? We hang out all the time anyway, and I enjoy your company. That's the worst proposal for dating I've ever heard in my entire life. You want me to make a PowerPoint presentation with graphs about why you should date me? She's trying not to smile and failing. That would actually be hilarious. Please do it. I'll get right on that tonight. We officially start dating the next week after I actually do make her a joking PowerPoint. Linda is thrilled when she finds out. Finally, the workplace tension was getting absolutely ridiculous. Riley and I are like, what tension? We were just coworkers. Turns out everyone thought we hated each other at first and then thought we were secretly dating. Marcus says we had aggressive sexual tension that was obvious to everyone. I throw a dish towel at him and he catches it laughing. Dating Riley is actually really easy and natural. She's passionate about things she cares about, but she's not trying to prove anything to me anymore or test me constantly. I make more effort to engage with her interests, and she does the same for me. It's give and take. Her friends were skeptical of me at first because apparently she's dated some jerks before. One of them, Jessica, straight up interrogated me at a party at their apartment. So what are your intentions with Riley? Where do you see this going? To continue dating her and see where it goes naturally. That's it? That's all you've got? I mean, I'm not plotting world domination if that's what you're asking me. Riley comes over and rescues me from the interrogation. Jess, stop terrorizing him, please. I'm vetting him thoroughly. It's my job as your best friend. He's fine, I promise. I can take care of myself. Jessica narrows her eyes at me suspiciously. Fine, you pass for now, but I'm watching you. I give her a thumbs up and she walks away. Later, Riley apologizes for her friend being intense. Don't worry about it. She cares about you and wants to protect you. She can be a bit much sometimes. So can you sometimes. I still like you regardless. She punches my arm, but she's smiling wide. Couple months into dating, we're at her apartment watching a horror movie on her couch. It's some indie film about a haunted house that gets good reviews online. She's cuddled up next to me under a blanket. Can I ask you something personal? Sure, go ahead. Why did you give me a chance after how I acted? I was kind of awful to you at first. I think about it for a moment. You weren't awful, you were just testing me constantly. And once you stopped testing, you were cool and fun to be around. Testing you? Yeah, like you wanted to see if I'd fit into some box you had in your head about men. When I didn't react how you expected, you had to recalibrate your approach. She's quiet for a minute, processing. That's pretty accurate, actually. You read me well. I'm smarter than I look, I promise. Shut up. I never thought you were dumb, just maybe apathetic. Just a typical guy who doesn't care. Maybe at first, yeah, but now I know that's not true, but you're not typical at all. Neither are you. That's why this works. She kisses me and we miss the rest of the movie because we're making out. We've been together for like 8 months now, and it's going great. Still work together at the coffee shop, still go to punk shows together, still watch horror movies every week. Her feminist theory is less aggressive now, more nuanced and thought out. She says I helped her realize that not everyone needs to perform their beliefs the same way to be genuine. I tell her she helped me actually think about things instead of just existing on autopilot without questioning anything. We're good for each other, balance each other out. Marcus says we're the weirdest couple he knows in his life. You went from looking like you wanted to kill each other to being disgustingly in love in like 2 months. We're not disgustingly in love, Riley protests weakly. I hand her a coffee made exactly how she likes it without her asking, with oat milk and an extra shot. Marcus raises an eyebrow knowingly. Sure, totally not disgustingly in love, whatever you say. Riley rolls her eyes but takes the coffee gratefully and kisses my cheek. Last week she met my parents at their house for Sunday dinner. My mom loved her immediately, thought she was smart and funny. My dad was scared of her for the first hour because she's so outspoken. She's very opinionated, he whispered to me in the kitchen while getting drinks. Yeah, that's one of the things I like most about her. By the end of dinner, Dad was asking her about her thesis and genuinely interested in her research. In the car ride home, she was nervous and fidgeting. Do you think they liked me? I feel like I talk too much. My mom wants you to come to family dinner every week now, so yeah, they loved you. Really? You're not just saying that? Really? Mom texted me already asking when you're coming back. She relaxed visibly. Good, because I actually like them too, they're sweet. Even my dad who was terrified of you? Especially your dad, he's funny. He reminds me of you, all quiet until he has something actually worth saying. That's fair. I get that from him. We're talking about moving in together soon, probably in a few months. Her lease is up in 2 months, and my roommate is moving out for a job across the country in Seattle. It makes sense logistically, and honestly, I want to wake up next to her every day. Are you sure about this? She asked nervously. That's a big step for us. I'm sure about it. Are you sure? Yeah, I am. I'm just nervous. Cool. Then let's do it and find a place. You're so casual about everything, even big life decisions. Would you prefer I make a big dramatic declaration with music? No, this is very you and I love it. Good, because I'm too tired for drama and theatrics. She laughs and kisses me in the middle of the coffee shop. We start looking at apartments the next week, find a decent 1-bedroom in our price range. Riley's friends help us move. Marcus brings pizza and beer for everyone. My band plays a show the night we finish moving in. She's in the front row. Life is pretty good, right? No, can't complain. 6 months after moving in together, things are still going strong. We adopted a cat from our animal shelter, named him Chaos because he lives up to it. Riley finished her thesis and graduated, got accepted to a master's program. My band got signed to a small indie label, nothing huge, but it's progress. We still work at the coffee shop together because the schedule works for both of us. Marcus got promoted to shift supervisor, immediately abuses his power by making us work all the same shifts. I need my favorite couple here for entertainment, he says. One day a customer comes in and starts the same stuff Riley used to do to me, trying to debate politics. I handle it the same way, just politely disengage and make their coffee. Riley watches the whole thing with amusement. That used to be me, she says after the customer leaves. Yeah, it was. Good times. I'm sorry I was so aggressive and confrontational with you. Don't be. It worked out in the end, didn't it? I guess it did, but I cringe thinking about it. I think it's funny now. You were so determined to get a reaction. And you were so determined not to give me one, it drove me crazy. I know, that's what made it fun. She throws a wadded up napkin at me. We're talking about getting engaged eventually. No rush, though. Her parents want to meet me. We're planning a trip to visit them next month. Are you nervous about meeting them? I ask. A little. My dad can be intense and protective. I survived Jessica's interrogation. I think I can handle your dad. Jessica went easy on you. My dad won't. Great. Looking forward to it. She laughs nervously. You're insane. The moral of this story is that sometimes the person who challenges you the most ends up being exactly what you need in life. And also that not caring about someone's performance art can paradoxically make them care about you more than anything. Sometimes the best relationships come from the most unexpected places and start in the weirdest ways. Also, working in a coffee shop is basically free relationship therapy because you see every type of human interaction possible. My face. When I realized the girl who tried to debate me about patriarchy every single day is now stealing my hoodies and making me watch true crime documentaries with her every night. That feel when you find someone who accepts you exactly as you are without expecting you to change or perform for them. Be me, 23-year-old sociology major working part-time at a coffee shop to pay for university. Purple hair, nose ring, the whole aesthetic because I actually like it, and it's not a phase mom. Feminist, activist, volunteer at animal shelters, trying to make the world better, one conversation at a time. First day at new job, I walk in ready to make a good impression and connect with my coworkers. Manager Linda introduces me to everyone during the morning briefing. There's Marcus, who seems cool and funny, a couple other baristas who are friendly. Then there's this guy, let's call him Anon because honestly I didn't catch his name at first. He's just standing there making coffee, looking completely zoned out and uninterested in the briefing. I start talking about wage gaps and women's issues in the workplace because it's relevant and important. Everyone's nodding along, engaging with what I'm saying. This guy is just focused on the espresso machine like I'm not even speaking. Kind of rude, honestly, but whatever. Maybe he's just busy. I specifically ask him if he's listening because his body language is so dismissive. He looks up like I just interrupted his very important coffee making. Not really. I'm trying to remember if this is a double or triple shot. Excuse me? I literally just spent 5 minutes talking about important social issues and this guy couldn't care less. I feel my face get hot because who just dismisses someone like that? Marcus is trying not to laugh, which makes it worse. I walk away to stock pastries because I don't want to cause drama on my first day. Spend the rest of the shift thinking about how typical this is, men not listening to women's issues. That night I vent to my roommate Jessica about it. There's this guy at work who literally ignored me talking about feminism. Jessica is outraged on my behalf. What an asshole, typical male behavior. Right? Like I was speaking and he just didn't care at all. Decide I'm going to try to educate him because maybe he just doesn't understand. Next day I bring my feminist theory textbook that I use for class. Put it on the counter where he's working. Right in his space so he has to acknowledge it. Maybe you should educate yourself about the issues facing women in modern society. He glances at it for half a second. Cool, is this yours? You left it here on my station. Pushes it back to me and goes back to cleaning. My brain literally cannot process this response. You're not even going to engage with the material I'm presenting to you? I'm engaging with this stubborn milk stain right now. It's pretty consuming and requires my full attention. Is he serious right now? Is he mocking me? Marcus is giggling behind the coffee grinder. I'm so frustrated I have to go to the back room before I say something I'll regret. Linda comes back to check on me. You okay, honey? I'm fine, just dealing with difficult coworkers. She pats my shoulder sympathetically. Over the next week, I try different approaches to get through to him. Bring up toxic masculinity during a lull. He asked me about drink preferences. Mention emotional labor. He asked me to grab supplies. Discuss male privilege. He needs help with the coffee filter. It's like talking to a brick wall that makes really good lattes. The frustrating part is he's not even mean about it, just completely neutral and unbothered. I'm used to guys either agreeing with me immediately or getting defensive and aggressive. This guy does neither, just exists in his own bubble. One day I directly confront him. Why don't you ever argue with me about anything I say? Why would I? You're entitled to your opinions and beliefs. But don't you want to defend yourself against my criticisms? From what? You haven't actually accused me of anything specific. I open my mouth to respond and realize he's right. I haven't accused him of anything personal. I've just been trying to get a reaction, and he's not giving me one. I don't know what to say, so I just stand there. He turns back to the espresso machine because there's a line. Later that shift, old creepy customers making comments about my body and appearance. I'm handling it professionally, but internally I'm uncomfortable and grossed out. Anon steps in immediately without hesitation. Hey man, that's not cool at all. Either order something or leave. Customer tries to argue. What are you, her boyfriend or something? I'm someone who doesn't want to listen to you harass my coworker for your own entertainment. So order or go. The guy leaves, still muttering complaints. Anon just goes back to cleaning like nothing happened. I'm staring at him confused. Why did you do that for me? Because he was being gross and you looked uncomfortable and it was the right thing to do. But I thought you didn't care about anything or anyone. I don't care about getting into theoretical debates at work. I do care about people being decent humans to each other. Oh, he's not apathetic. He just doesn't perform his beliefs for an audience like I do. Thank you, I appreciate it, I say quietly. No problem, it's basic decency. I think about this interaction for the rest of the day and honestly the rest of the week. Maybe I've been approaching this all wrong. Maybe not everyone needs to broadcast their values constantly to have them. I start actually talking to him like a normal person instead of a project to fix. Turns out he's actually interesting when I'm not trying to debate him. He's in a punk band, plays drums, has been doing it for 6 years. Wait, you're in a punk band? I didn't see that coming at all. Yeah, I play drums. Have been for like 6 years. Why? I just didn't expect that from you. You seem so calm. He laughs. I save my energy for the drums. He invites me to a show on Friday night at a place called The Basement. I almost don't go because what if it's awkward? But Jessica convinces me. Just go, see what happens. Maybe he's actually cool. I bring Jessica and my other friend Sarah for moral support. We get to the venue and it's this tiny dive bar with a small stage. His band goes on and holy shit, they're actually good. He's amazing on drums, completely different energy than at work. After the set, I go up to him. That was actually really good, I'm impressed. Thanks, glad you came out, means a lot. We end up talking for 2 hours in a corner booth. Conversation flows so naturally, we're discussing music, horror movies, my thesis research, his band's upcoming EP. I bring up feminism, but not in a challenging way, just sharing my thoughts. He actually engages thoughtfully, asks questions, shares his perspective. We agree on most things, he just approaches it differently than I do. My friends have to drag me away at midnight because I have an early class. I give him my number before leaving, hoping he'll text. He texts the next day asking about dinner. We go to my favorite Thai place on Wednesday after work. You know what's funny? I ask between bites of spring rolls. What? I spent 2 weeks trying to get a rise out of you, and you just didn't care at all. I mean, I cared about the topics. I just didn't think arguing with you at work was productive for either of us. Everyone else always either agrees with me immediately to avoid conflict or gets super defensive and aggressive. Sounds exhausting for everyone involved, honestly. It really is exhausting now that I think about it. I think I was doing it because I expected you to be like every other guy I've met. What, employed and mediocre at latte art? I kick him under the table, but I'm smiling. Shut up, you know what I mean. I do know, but I'm too lazy to perform any kind of persona for people. This is just me being me. I think that's what threw me off initially. You're just genuinely yourself without any pretense. Is that a compliment or an insult? It's definitely a compliment, trust me. We start hanging out constantly after that. I go to all his shows, bring my friends, we become groupies basically. He comes to volunteer at the animal shelter with me on Saturday mornings. Watching him play with the dogs and cats makes my heart do weird things. Marcus keeps making comments at work. When are you two just gonna date already? The tension is killing me. I turn red every time he brings it up. Then one day Anand just casually says, "Would that be so bad if we did?" I look at him shocked. Are you serious right now? Yeah, why not? We hang out all the time anyway and I enjoy your company. That's the worst proposal for dating I've ever heard in my entire life. You want me to make a PowerPoint presentation with graphs about why you should date me? I'm trying not to smile. That would actually be hilarious, please do it. He actually makes me a PowerPoint the next day with stupid graphs and memes. Slide 1 says why Riley should date me, a comprehensive analysis. I'm laughing so hard I'm crying. Officially start dating after that ridiculous presentation. Linda's so happy. Finally, the workplace tension was getting absolutely ridiculous. Apparently, everyone thought we hated each other at first. Marcus says we had aggressive sexual tension that was obvious to everyone. I throw a napkin at him. Dating Anon is surprisingly easy and comfortable. He doesn't try to change me or tell me to tone it down like previous boyfriends did. He just accepts me exactly as I am, passion and all. I make more effort to listen instead of just waiting to speak. My friends are skeptical at first because I've dated some real jerks before. Jessica interrogates him at a party. So what are your intentions with Riley? Where do you see this going? I have to rescue him from her questioning. Jess, stop terrorizing him, please. I'm vetting him thoroughly. It's my job as your best friend. Later, I apologize. Sorry about Jessica, she means well. Don't worry about it. She cares about you and wants to protect you. She can be a bit much sometimes with the protective thing. So can you sometimes? I still like you regardless. Okay, that's fair. I can be intense. Couple months in, we're watching a horror movie at my apartment. I'm cuddled up next to him under my favorite blanket. Can I ask you something personal? Sure, go ahead. Why did you give me a chance after how I acted? I was kind of awful to you at first. He thinks about it. You weren't awful, you were just testing me constantly. And once you stopped testing, you were cool and fun to be around. Testing you? Yeah, like you wanted to see if I'd fit into some box you had in your head about men. When I didn't react how you expected, you had to recalibrate your approach. He's completely right, and it's slightly embarrassing. That's pretty accurate, actually. You read me well. I'm smarter than I look, I promise. Shut up. I never thought you were dumb. Just maybe apathetic. Just a typical guy who doesn't care? Maybe at first, yeah, but now I know that's not true, but you're not typical at all. Neither are you. That's why this works. He kisses me and I forget about the movie entirely. 8 months in, and I'm happier than I've ever been in a relationship. We still work together, still go to shows, still watch horror movies every week. My approach to activism has become more nuanced and less performative. He helped me realize that performative activism isn't the same as actual impact. I helped him engage more deeply with issues instead of staying surface level. Marcus constantly comments on how in love we are. You went from looking like you wanted to kill each other to being disgustingly in love in like 2 months. We're not disgustingly in love, I protest. Anon hands me my exact coffee order without me asking. Marcus raises an eyebrow. Sure, totally not disgustingly in love, whatever you say. Okay, fine, maybe we are a little disgustingly in love. Last week he met my parents at their house for Sunday dinner. I was so nervous I almost threw up in the car. My dad can be very protective and interrogating with boyfriends, but Anon handled it perfectly, answered questions honestly, engaged with my dad's interests. By the end of dinner they were discussing music and my dad was showing him his old record collection. In the car afterward I asked, so that wasn't too terrible, was it? Your parents are great. Your dad is funny in a dry way. He liked you, I could tell. Good, because I plan on being around for a while. My heart did that weird fluttery thing again. We're talking about moving in together in a couple months. My lease is up soon and his roommate is moving to Seattle. It makes perfect sense logistically and emotionally. Are you sure about this? I ask because I'm nervous about such a big step. I'm sure about it. Are you sure? Yeah, I am. I'm just nervous. It's so fast. Cool. Then let's do it and find a place together. I love how casual he is about big life decisions while I'm internally panicking. We find a decent one-bedroom apartment in our budget. My friends help us move. Marcus brings pizza and beer. Anon's band plays a show that night, and I'm in the front row cheering. 6 months after moving in together, everything is still amazing. We adopted a cat from my shelter named Chaos because he's absolutely insane. I finished my thesis and graduated with honors, got accepted to a master's program in sociology. Anon's band got signed to a small indie label, which is huge for them. We still work at the coffee shop because the schedule works perfectly. Marcus got promoted to shift supervisor and makes us work together constantly. One day a customer tries to debate me about feminism the way I used to debate Anon. I politely disengage and just make their coffee professionally. Anon watches with this amused smile. That used to be me, I say after they leave. Yeah, it was. Good times and great memories. I'm sorry I was so aggressive and confrontational with you at first. Don't be. It worked out in the end, didn't it? I guess it did, but I cringed so hard thinking about it. I think it's funny now. You were so determined to get a reaction from me, and you were so determined not to give me one. It drove me absolutely crazy. I know, that's what made it fun on my end. I throw a napkin at his face. We're casually talking about engagement, no pressure or rush though. His parents want me at every family dinner now. They're so sweet. My parents adore him, my dad especially. We're planning to visit my extended family next month for a reunion. Are you nervous about meeting everyone? I ask. A little. You've mentioned your uncle can be intense. He's protective, but he'll love you, I promise. I survived your dad. I think I can handle your uncle. My dad went easy on you compared to my uncle. Great. Looking forward to it then. Looking back on how we started, it's kind of insane. I genuinely thought he was the most apathetic person I'd ever met. Turns out he was just the most authentic person I'd ever met. He didn't perform for me or anyone else, just existed as himself. That's what I needed, someone who wouldn't change themselves to match my energy. Someone who would just be themselves and let me be myself. Also, I should probably mention, if you're reading this story somewhere online, yeah, this actually happened to me. I know it sounds like fiction, but life is weird sometimes. The guy who ignored my feminist speeches is now the person I want to spend my life with. He's sitting next to me right now while I type this, reading over my shoulder. He just said, "You're making me sound cooler than I actually am." See what I mean? Authentic to a fault. If you're someone who performs their beliefs constantly, maybe try just being genuine instead. If you're someone who's too in their own bubble, maybe try engaging a little more. We both had to meet in the middle, and it created something really special. Also, if you work in a coffee shop, yes, it's basically relationship therapy for free. You see every type of human interaction and dynamic possible in that environment. The moral from my perspective is that sometimes the person who frustrates you the most is actually perfect for you. You just have to stop testing them and start actually seeing them for who they are. And also that making someone a PowerPoint about why they should date you is apparently very effective. Currently planning our future while still serving coffee to people every day. He still makes perfect lattes and I still talk too much about social issues. But now we balance each other out instead of clashing. My face. When the guy who wouldn't debate me about feminism ended up being the most feminist man I've ever dated through his actions. That feel when you realize the person you're meant to be with was right in front of you the whole time, making coffee and minding his business.